Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign, Aries, this is for you. Remember, they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. Use your own discernment. Check all three out so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader, because they are purely tarot, no astrology in these. Before we start, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, for your key to the week this week, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates and you want some of that Rafi love, hit the subscribe button. All right, so your key to the week this week is the World card. Oh my dear Aries, are you ready to graduate? It looks like you are. It looks like, remember, whenever the World card shows up, you're looking at a level up here, right? This is where you are about to go beyond. You are about to reach a brand new level. And the truth of it is as well, right? Whenever we hear like, oh yeah, leveling up. Yes, it's a really exciting time and it's wonderful because it means that you've done good wherever you were. But remember, when you start a new level, you start at the bottom rung of that new level. What this feels like to me, though, is there's some kind of big change point this week. There's some kind of elevation where you kind of have a moment, you look at things and you're like, okay, this is a decidedly different ball game to what I'm used to. But that is a good thing. It means that in all of these different areas of life that we're about to explore, there is good, positive change, there is movement. And it also suggests that in some regard, in all of these areas of life, you're likely to have an experience or a feeling at least that there is community or support available to you. All you have to do is ask for it. For your actions and options, you got the Five of Wands. So this could be a very busy week. It does look like there are many people vying for your attention. I've got to be really honest with you. I think it's going to be a very busy week. I think there's a lot going on with friendships this week, including welcoming in new people, as well as getting rid of some people that probably or potentially need to go. The other thing with this as well, it is possible that you could clash with an old group or association, or maybe a friendship group, or whatever the case might be. It's like there's you and a group of people that you're kind of seeing like, you know what, actually I don't resonate with these people anymore. Something about this feels like it's very, very different to how it used to be. The options that are available to you are to interact, are to connect, and this might just be to shoot the shit. And it could just as easily be that you meet some people now that you think, oh my gosh, like these are ride or dies. These are going to be people that are around for a very long time to come. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Knight of Swords. So look, there's no getting around it, right? You've got the Knight of Swords. This can be fast, aggressive communication. You've got the Five of Wands, which can be a challenging conflict card on its own sometimes. You combine these two, this could be a, I'm just got to say it, I'm really sorry to say, but this could be a familial sort of energy that kicks off. So if you've got, if you're anything like me, obviously on mum's side, we're Greek and Egyptian. On dad's side, we are Caribbean. So you can imagine when it gets a little bit intense, it gets a little bit intense, right? But this could be a family kickoff of some sort. I really hope I'm wrong on that front, but it is possible. When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this, especially with the World card, something about the institution that you are studying with, or potentially something around your living situation, might reach a bit of a head this week. So watch out for this. And if you are clashing with those that you study with, or people that you study under at your college, university, etc., ask yourself why. What, if you're willing to die on this hill, ask yourself why. What is the real reason behind it? For those of you that are employed by somebody else, look, honestly, this is one of those times where you're going to realize, like this week, I think a lot of you have a very clear moment where it's like, yeah, there's no way that I am going to be able to work for this person or these people for much longer. I'm out. It's like you have a moment of startling clarity where you just kind of say, yeah, you know what? I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. You don't pay me enough, quite frankly. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, it's a similar energy. This might actually see a lot of you fire a client. Right now, if you've got your own business, one of the greatest things is that you don't have to do what you don't want to. However, there are times you need to be a bit more diplomatic and you have to play the game. This may very well be, though, one of those weeks where you say, you know what, this client, this clientele, this level of people, whatever that level might mean to you or whatever, you kind of say, yeah, you know what, I'm phasing that part of my business out. I'm moving away from that now in order to focus on this. And your path forward looks very, very bright, Aries, this week. But this week is going to be one of tension and potentially some fractious energy. For those of you that are no longer working, or for those of you that are retired or no longer working at the moment for any reason, this is where things will start to ramp up, right? Mercury is now direct at this point, so everything's your fault again. Jokes aside, sort of as literally like at the midpoint of this week, I'm just looking at the calendar, we'll be coming into May. And at this point, Mars, your ruling planet, comes into your sign. This is going to be power on power for you, right? You're going to be explosive. And so it's really important. This is going to be one of those times, certainly for the next 6 weeks after this week, let's say from Wednesday, where when people say, like, a lot of the time when people say to Aries, like, oh, you're being really forthright, or, you're being really loud or whatever, 9 times out of 10, it's just because, no offense, but they're fucking weaklings and they don't know how to deal with Aries energy or people, right? However, this is that next 6 weeks where when people say to you, like, oh, you're being a bit full on, it is you. Okay, just to clarify that. If you haven't seen it, don't forget to check out. Sorry, there's something jumping on my wall. If you haven't seen it, don't forget to check out your April Astro Tarot video. For your love and relations, you've got the King of Pentacles. This is a great card for relationships because it means that the energy is grounded in some way, right? So you're finding a solid connection or partnership here. So if you're single, you could be meeting somebody, you could be connecting someone. I will say this person is able to give you a run for your money. You might be sort of pleasantly surprised and, quite frankly, low-key pissed off about the fact that they are able to go toe-to-toe with you and they don't seem to be breaking a sweat. I think you could meet your match this week, Aries. I really do. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is the relationship finding not only an even keel, but I think this is you and your partner really starting to understand that it is us against the world. All right, but there are going to be some conversations that will need to be had around that, especially because this Knight of Swords with the King of Pentacles, it's possible that maybe it's only just now that you've kind of really sort of stepped up to the plate and arrived to the party, which, it happens, right? I think the best explanation of a relationship that I ever heard was from Braina Brown, and she said, that 50-50 in relationships is bullshit. And I was like, oh, okay, this is and she stood by it 100%. So I was like, okay, you know what? I want to hear her out just to see what. And she said, if you are in a relationship and your partner doesn't have 50% to give you, 1 day, 1 week, 1 year, 1 month, maybe 2 years, maybe they can only give you 5% because the rest of their mental or spiritual or whatever their faculties just aren't able to give you that 50%. You got to be in it with them enough to say, I will put in extra, right? And she said, and the same works vice versa. You have to be able to work on a sliding scale to say, I've got this for the moment, or you need to have this for the moment. She said, so this whole idea of 50-50 is bollocks. And do you know what? I am inclined to agree with her. And so when I see this, it looks like a lot of you have been sort of on that back burner for a while, but it's time for you to step back up. All right. For your money and materials, look at this, the 10 of Cups with the World card. This is money, finances, resources finding you from new sources. It's you finally moving on your plans and seeing the tangible results come from them. This is a great week for money. It's potentially a week as well where somebody is either gifting you money or leading you down a path, or, should I say, through or on a path that leads to some kind of financial abundance, certainly in your long-term future. So I love this, especially anything that you're doing with groups, group people, group associations, all of that kind of stuff is highly favored for you. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is a great card for physical health and vitality, but I will say watch out for your ankles and your toes this week, all right? Especially because it looks like there's going to be a lot of busy energy as well, especially if you're going to a place where there's a lot of people, especially if you're spending a lot of time rushing around here, there and everywhere. Watch your feet and watch your ankles, and in particular the bones of the ankle, right? Because your feet and your ankles and your wrists, there's a lot of little bones in there, and it's usually those that cause the problems, not the big stuff. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, what more could you ask for but this, right? If you've been doing work on the home, if you've wanted to do work on the home, if you wanted to change your home, to relocate and all of that good stuff, this week is going to bode very, very well for you. I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I'll see you soon.